October 11th, 2025 is a day that will forever live in infamy. It's a day that I've been preparing for the course of 8 months. I worked tirelessly, I trained hard in the gym, but number one thing I did was promote. I wanted to be a star. I wanted to show people that I am more than just a boxer. I wanted to show that I was here to be entertaining. I wanted to revolutionize what it meant to be a content creator. And on that front, I believe I had a lot of success. For going into this fight, October 11th, I had many people I had never expected to join on my side, and people that had been riding from me from the very beginning, rooting for me and believing that I would be victorious against the undefeated 3-0 fighter, Jordani. I trained hard behind the scenes, relentlessly. I had watched his footage. I had seen and memorized every single mannerism, every single move, and above all else, I wanted it more than he did. I saw it every day that I would be the only one promoting, and he would be on kicking his feet up on his quote 3 days off, doing absolutely nothing to promote our fight, making me doing everything. I saw it on fight week, where he couldn't even bear to look me in the eyes as we were facing off against each other during the face-to-face, during the rest of fight week. Most of all, I saw it the second we were face-to-face in the ring, 3 seconds away from fighting. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I wanted to push this dude on the back foot. I wanted to bully the bully. I knew I was ready for a dogfight if need be. Whether tired, I knew I could do it. Whether full energy, I knew I could do it. Power, volume, that is what I brought to the fight. But as much as I prepared for every eventual outcome that Jordani could hit me with, never in a million years could I have ever predicted the Douglasville referee. The most incompetent, most buffoonish refereeing you have ever seen in your entire life. A literal 9-month-old fetus could have done a better job. Anytime I would try to get Jordani on the ropes, work on the inside, that was a huge part of my plan. He would separate us, throw me to the opposite side of the ring. Anytime I was about to give him yet another standing 8, he would get in between, just about to separate us. Jordani would still land somehow in the clinch with his little slapping hook, and the ref would just back off and go, "Nah, I don't want nothing to do with that." Time and time again, this happened in the fight. And unfortunately, my eyes did not deceive me, because unfortunately on that day, October 11th, 2025, I would end up losing my fight by TKO. One of the most illegitimate TKOs I have ever seen in my entire life. You can even see me on stream after the fight. I'm not hurt. I'm not dazed. I'm a little tired, I won't lie, but I'm literally just sat there like, are we serious? But what was done, and the internet would not let me forget it. My name was dragged through the mud. Friends that I believed I had within the scene were once talking my praises, immediately were dragging my name through the dirt. It was depressing, it was saddening, for I thought I'd really found a place within the SCB community with just about everybody that I met, and it is so sad. People, the number one thing they want to see from a guy is to see them fall. So whether the win was legitimate or not for Jordani, the people took their chance and showed me exactly where their loyalties lied. And I totally took that well. But I tried to defend myself. I realized that it was BS, but I was getting tired of people going in spaces, talking bad about my name, people DMing me privately and saying awful things about me, people getting me on spaces and trying to rage bait me into saying some absolute blasphemies. All I did was try to defend myself. I made an hour-long video on my channel you can go back and watch, where I break down the fight frame by frame to show everybody how illegitimate and how stupid it was what happened. But people didn't matter, because unfortunately the people with the most power within SCB that have control over the narrative, they don't have an attention span longer than a goldfish. So unfortunately, with people like that, they're not here to debate, they're not here to listen, they're here to rage bait and capitalize off of your misery. And it took me a long time to realize that, but in the moment, I won't even lie, it really got to me. Jordani always said in the build-up that he would retire me, and I was starting to think, just for a moment, that he was right. Maybe this was it. Maybe, just maybe, I was done fighting. For what's the point? Who would I even bother fighting at this point? Jordani was supposed to be the warm-up. He was supposed to be easy. He was supposed to be the catalyst for me in this scene. For I wanted to be the next best thing. I still believe that I am the next best thing. So if I couldn't beat him on paper, quote unquote, then what place did I have within this community? What place did I have as a fighter? For if this could ever happen again, if this is what's to be expected, then why should I even bother fighting again at all? Maybe, just maybe, I should quit. But if you think I'm finna do that, you wrong. At the end of the day, things happen. Boxing happens. People think I'm shit now. Good. Absolutely good. Because y'all are in for a rude awakening for when I make my return in SCB. I have been waiting. I have been back in the gym. I was not hurt whatsoever. The literal second I got back to my state, I have been back in the gym. I have been training. I have watched that footage every single day. I had my moments of depression. I had my moments of doubt and misery, but those moments are past. And now I have a fire within me that's even greater than anything I could have ever imagined. Somehow I left Douglasville with a greater fire in me to succeed and to win in violent fashion than I did when I came there in the first place. And so in many ways, I can thank that in a lot of ways. God used that moment to make me a better fighter and a better man. We have grown our relationship together, and I'm extremely thankful for that. I found it funny. The real thing that got me inspired to get back in the ring was Jordani, ironically. He said that our fight was just like Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Well, you know what happened in the rematch? What happened in the rematch was Anthony Joshua came back and he beat the shit out of Ruiz for 12 straight rounds, to the point where Andy Ruiz lost all relevancy and was remembered as nothing more than a fluke on AJ's career. The difference with me and AJ is I was not knocked out. I was not hurt. The only reason that you got the win that day is because the ref is an absolute buffoon and a Neanderthal that should never have even been there in the first place. He saved your life. So when we get in there in that rematch, just like Anthony Joshua did to Ruiz, I will beat you into irrelevancy, Jordani. Bet on that. Bet on that. But it is unfortunate that I cannot get an immediate rematch. It is unfortunate because he is going to be preoccupied on Breakout 08 fighting for the title against Irie. So what's the next best thing that I can do in between then? For I want to fight again. I don't want to have to wait over a year to be able to get in there and have a rematch with him. So what should I do? Where should I go from here? Well, I think I have a pretty good idea. If I can't fight Jordani again, why not get on the same card as him? Because here's the great thing is, like I said in the beginning, I'm more than just a boxer. I'm a content creator. I'm somebody that takes this part of the creator side seriously in SCB. The creator comes before the boxer in SCB, you know? And that is what people value, storylines. I am going to build my way back to, quote, redeem myself. And I'm going to remind people that I am still the Kodiak. I have a fire, I have a rage within me to get in there and do exactly what I need to do. But that's the thing. Who has the balls to face me? At this point, who has the balls to face an angry Kodiak? I truly don't know. Well, I think I know a guy. And I think the guy knows who's watching this. For he's called me out several times. Someone I didn't expect to call me out with so little experience compared to mine. But that doesn't mean that I have any less respect for it. For his balls are made of tungsten, ladies and gentlemen. They are huge. So this is my plan. If I can't fight Jordani, why don't I fight someone who not only will be a good fight, but will put in the same amount of effort as me into content creation so that we can get above Jordani on the Breakout 08 card. For ladies and gentlemen, I truly think with my promoting abilities and their promoting abilities, if we can get above Jordani, imagine the kick in the dick that would be, especially if I can claim the win. I can look him in his fat, fake dreads ass face and demand a rematch. Without me, you will be near the bottom of the card because I know your lazy ass will not promote, and I'm gonna shoot right above you with whoever I fight. So, till we see each other again, Jordani, I do wish you good luck, as much as I am talking to you right now with a lot of visceral rage and anger towards the situation. At the end of the day, it's the ref's fault, not yours. So, until we meet again, we will meet again. But as for my next opponent, and you know who you are, he's called me out on several occasions. I admire his willingness to get in there with a tough challenge. I admire his abilities. I admire his dedication to both the sport and content creation. So I see no one better to fight on Breakout 08. Who is that opponent? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are just going to have to find out. I will not be revealing it today, but bare minimum, the number one thing I can tell you right now is the Kodiak will be back. And the Kodiak is hungry. And I will not stop until I remind everybody in this SCB scene they have fucked up. If you think for a second that I'm now shit because of everything that happened, if you think that, then I hate to tell you, but you're in for a rude awakening. So where we go from here, you'll see. You will see, ladies and gentlemen. But until next time, this is the Kodiak, signing out.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it